OpenAI announced ChatGPT Instant Checkout. According to CNBC, the new feature will allow users to make single item purchases directly from merchants through ChatGPT. Instant Checkout initially supports single item purchases from US Etsy sellers, and more than 1 million Shopify merchants are coming soon. The feature is available to US ChatGPT Plus Pro and free users, and OpenAI plans to expand regional availability in the future. Also of note, shares of Etsy closed up nearly 16% on Monday with the news, and Shopify's stock closed up more than 6%. Chris, this is also, not surprisingly, the A&M put you on the spot
Right.
question. They want to know.
Geez, let's make my brain work today.
Yes,
My
yes.
God.
Every headline, every time we come to you, it's going to be a zinger. Okay, Chris, the A&M wants to know, allowing shoppers to discover and buy products in ChatGPT without leaving the chat should steamroll the classic e-com funnel from search to site
Steamroll.
to cart to checkout in one foul swoop. Uh, what are the biggest challenges brands and retailers face in making their online content and product categories agent friendly versus just consumer friendly?
Oh my God, there's so much to that question. All right. Well, the first thing I would say is the first thing that the retailers and the brands have to ask themselves is, do they want to make their, content agent friendly at all? We heard
Mhm.
from David Dorff on the Five Insightful Minutes last week, which is a great interview, folks. If you have not listened
Oh,
to that yet, stop what you're doing right now, hit pause, and go back to last week's episode and listen to what David had to say because it was very, very insightful. But we learned from him, basically you have two options. You can either block the bots or you can let them in. And if you
hmm
want to accept them, then you have to get your site GEO optimized. And everyone's trying to figure out what the heck that means. That's been a very big topic of conversation here at Grocery Shop. And then it sounds like if you're okay with that, then you also, it sounds like, have to plug into ChatGPT for checkout in some way, shape, or
hmm
form too. Um, so if you want to start experimenting with that, you want to start understanding what your customer sees from that experience and what you can offer them up to close the deal. I think that's the key thing here. That's what you have to start experimenting with. We heard Lauren Steinberg of Loblaw, who
hmm
was incredibly impressive when we interviewed her. And she was very open with this. She said, "Yeah, we're experimenting. We're welcoming it. We're experimenting with. We don't know what it is until we try it. So
Yep.
we're not gonna close ourselves down. We're gonna try to think and experiment our way through this. So net, I don't know. I mean, things are changing so freaking fast that I
Yeah.
think that's the approach. But I do wonder for me, Anne, I just don't know. Like, is there a Trojan horse here? Is this
hmm
Pandora's box? Um, how many people will retrench and just try to thwart all bots from going to their site? Which I don't know. I'd like to actually think about this in a boardroom with people to say, what are
hmm
all the different, outcomes that could happen? And like we said with Tim, which ones are more probable that they are going to happen? Because I do worry about the Trojan horse effect here too, that all this will just end up fueling OpenAI and anyone else that tries to do this in the long run. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I mean, that's my big takeaway here.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does. I mean, that is resoundingly clear among all of the retailers and brands that I feel like we've come across in the last few days in Vegas at Grocery Shop. I think the biggest challenge is that no one's ready for it. But I see, I'm going to lean a little bit heavier because I do think this is like, the Google of 2025.
Lean
I
heavier
think
which way?
I would lean heavier in preparing for bot traffic because there's a study that just came out from SimilarWeb that says that consumers that use search platforms like ChatGPT are 7 times more likely to convert. So I think retailers have to come up for a plan of how to do both, how to sell to agents, how to show up in those searches, and then figuring out how to still manage and create a desirable experience for the consumers that are coming directly to their site. But I think there's two things that have to happen or that retailers should be focused on for them to be successful, in addition to, just starting to test like Lauren Steinberg was talking about from
Hmm.
Loblaws. The first thing, I think it's cultural changes, including like new teams. I know back a few weeks ago when Lululemon hired their chief AI officer, we were kind
Hmm.
of like, man, does that make sense? But
Yeah, David Dorff
actually,
said that too, right?
I actually think that the more that we're hearing about this from retailers, it's going to require this creation of a cross-functional
Yeah.
team that kind of helps think about this outside of the silos. And then the second thing is I think they're going to have to rely more heavily on third-party content from both creators and retailers are going to have to rely on brands for that content so that they can start testing this and so that they can start showing up more readily in some of those agentic type searches. So there is a lot ahead for consumers. There's a lot ahead for the retailers and brands in this space, but it's here now. Like this is the headline to me that says that like there's no more like consideration. It's here. You have to be testing it.
Yeah, and Etsy's the perfect partner too, because what did David say? And he said that we're going to start to see this explode at the holiday season because you can
Yep.
literally, and Etsy's perfect for that because you're like, hey, I want to get a cool, unique gift for my wife or my, girlfriend or whatever. And now I can put that into ChatGPT. They can help me even like potentially, refine that search. And then Etsy will pop up and, give me
And
something really unique.
it's so easy. I just posted a video last night to LinkedIn of my search, and in
Hmm.
a matter of seconds, I have the click to buy and I have a gift from Etsy. Like it was so smooth. So check
Yeah.
out that video, try it out for yourself. It's
Yeah.
live now. You can just see how this is really
Hmm.
going to redefine how we find and discover products.
Yeah, the other part about it too is like the Shopify angle. So Shopify's coming, right? Like the thing for me is
Mhm.
like, why would Shopify do this? Because can't ChatGPT end up becoming Shopify in the long run? Like an easy way to stand up sites. So that's where I'm like the Trojan horse dynamics here are crazy. Or is Shopify working
Mhm.
some deal on the back end with OpenAI? Who the hell knows? But anyway, it's fun to watch, and scary too.